All right. In spirit of just getting right into it. Hello again. This is Ben Hitchcock Cross talking to you. We're going to get right into back into the complaint. Here's the demand letter here. Just did a little background research on these guys. They do seem pretty similar to my firm here, though this is their tagline says that they provide unrivaled expertise in business litigation, corporate law, and real estate development, helping you chart a path that steers clear of troubled waters and fighting tenaciously for your best interest when conflict arises. Maybe that's a San Diego, calm waters and protect you in the storm. Good. That's a well-written. I love good sales writing too. All right. Navigating legal waters, and they got San Diego there. My dad went to some kind of school in San Diego. Has always had an affinity for it. I've never went there with him. It's never had much of an appeal. I do not travel as much as I used to. That is for sure. But let me tell you about my goat sometime. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Bam. Yeah, what triggered me here was how they've got this is a small firm here, which makes sense. All right. Now, I am going to compare and contrast the hell out because I love writing letters to superintendents or to school boards. I would very often have a quote up there, usually from the superintendent. If I've got a quote from the superintendent about high morals and good behavior, you know how educators like to lord, administrators like to lord their authority over children by talking down to them and holding them to expectations that they don't hold to themselves, like that. So I frequently will put a tagline there. Some people just can't stand it. I only put that in there as a message to the people that I'm sending it to, and you've got a 50-50 chance if they're actually going to read it or not, and you really want to hit them where it hurts. So I just start with that, and I kind of think it's a little amusing. The juxtaposition, we'll say. Remember, these the people that can hire or fire the superintendent are also the people that hire the superintendent, and they will look like a bunch of asses if they admit that they hired the wrong person. So there is that internal bias there. Okay. We understand the depth of the document, but we urge you to consider every sentence, witness statement, image, and video with the gravity they deserve. The legacy of this board and its unwavering commitment to ensure the highest ethical standards of its employees while safeguarding students from bullying, harassment, and abuse is at a pivotal juncture. Okay. There are basically three basic there are about three responses that one could make to a school board, okay? Now is the time to change something. We expected better of you, but you didn't know something, so now you do know something. And we know you guys are a bunch of jerks, but you're going to get sued. Now, those are basically the three sets here. And I think they went with pivotal juncture, with now's the time to change. Fine theme here. I don't know anything about this board personally, what malfeasance they may or may not be aware of, and et cetera. So there may be some significant issues between them, and I just don't know. I'll also note that I went on the law firm's website, and they had, for media, they had one thing, which was this complaint. So good for them. Under typical circumstances, here's This is what I'm trying to explain that's not, I don't think, being said out loud. People who are not used to dealing with school boards might take them for a body that is set up for the benefit of the pupils and might think that everybody involved at bottom wants to do what's best for the pupils. Other people may not take that same view. Or that a board cares about its legacy. What's that individual board members care about the legacy of the board whatsoever. They may care about their personal legacy, but not so much that of the board. They may care about the liability to the board, but that's a separate matter. Under typical circumstances, we would direct this uniform complaint to the compliance officer, James Jimenez, as stipulated by AR 1312-3A. Given the unique nature of this case, we have reservations that such a course would compromise PUSD's capacity to impartially process, investigate, and address the uniform complaint. Our primary concern, then, stems from the fact that Superintendent Marion Phelps, who is central to this complaint, oversees Mr. Jimenez and his team as well as the broader district. As our understanding goes, you are the sole authority to whom Ms. Phelps is accountable. If there exists a policy or procedure tailored to such unique circumstances, we kindly request that you share it with us. Okay. That's another, I think, signal there that they may not be aware of who they're dealing with. I mean, again, these guys have fired the superintendent in the end, but there's a lot between here and there. But we'll get there. You have no idea how easy it is to go down a rabbit hole. But I think I think that is a California education administrative law, administrative regulation is my guess. But rabbit hole. We have again, them throwing themselves on the kindness, the mercy of the board seems to me to be wishful thinking. Well, this is not the tone that I would take with the Milwaukee School Board, for example, or almost any school board. But we're comparing and contrasting. Just yesterday on August 15th, Principal Ty Eveleth communicated to my client a decision that profoundly affects her senior year, barring her from participating. I wouldn't apologize for... No, I'm going to say something because no, absolutely not. I'm not apologizing for nothing. You're violating my client's First Amendment rights. You can go jump in the lake or the sea, whatever they got over there, an ocean possibly. Barring her from participating in all extracurricular activities. Yeah, no. No. All right, I'm sorry. Comparing and contrasting. You better readmit this person to all extracurricular activities immediately. Headline. Tomorrow's not soon enough. You better get to work. Time's now. That's, he may be way more successful. I don't know, but these are some good facts. I don't know. I'm just telling you that if you're doing this to my client, especially that's a pupil, that seems to be I don't think I'd have the same tone. Including participation on her varsity softball team and even her own commencement ceremony in June. These people need to stop. Many of you have children within the PUSD, at least one of which may have experienced her own harassment, mistreatment as the hand of a PUSD administrator or employee. We are concerned that this is a cultural norm within the district, perpetuated from the top down. We ask you to empathize with the position so-and-so finds herself in, especially as she embarks on her senior year under such trying circumstances. The emotional and social toll this situation exacts on her is immeasurable, given the profound adversity she faces from those she was taught were there to support and protect her. That's a pretty good last sentence. My commitment to defending the rights of young individuals against the misuse of authority is unwavering, and I am resolute in my pursuit of fairness and justice for so-and-so. I believe that you too have a golden opportunity to stand by her and champion what is just and right. While I am diligently pursuing this matter independently, I would greatly value the opportunity to collaborate with you in safeguarding so-and-so's interests and ensuring her senior year experience is one who we are all proud to have been a part of. I don't necessarily, I don't disagree with that sentiment by any stretch of the imagination at all. To be redundant, I do think that you don't want to put an I statement at all as an attorney, and I'm committed and I'm doing this, and I don't think that's, I deprecate that. But the offer of collaboration is definitely something that I just, again, it all depends, and this is what I always tell somebody, is that it all depends. You know the people who you're dealing with better than I do. You're the ones who knows your risk better than I do. So I just don't, I'm just, this is not my tone. In light of our concerns and the apparent absence of direct oversight regarding the subjects of, just look what's already happened. Okay. This team should have no prior. Oh my God, they didn't. We respectfully request that you appoint an entirely independent investigative team and legal counsel. Well, we know that's not happening. This team should have no prior financial, professional, or other affiliations with PUST or the individuals in question. There can be no risk of undue influence or bias. Concurrently, we suggest that you secure without prior notification to the subjects under investigation all electronic devices, and other relevant communication that files within the PUSD's purview and public interest. Given the potential outcomes of this investigation, there is a conceivable risk that the involved parties might be inclined to tamper with or misrepresent evidence. Taking these precautions would ensure the integrity of the investigation. Choosing to file this uniform complaint was a very tough decision, made after significant introspection and many long nights of lost sleep, tears, and fears. So-and-so embodies the values instilled by PUSD and holding a high regard for the motto, character counts, and its 6 foundational pillars. So I just don't think you can shame these people into doing what they should have done in the first place. I think you can sue them into doing it. I don't think you can shame them. This situation is one of the toughest things she has encountered in her life, and she looks to you as a beacon of hope, trusting in your capacity to provide her with a fair and safe harbor. Man, these dudes like their port metaphors. San Diego. In a way that was meant to instill fear and unease, so-and-so was told that if she signed the other means of correction contract presented by James Dayhoff, this will go away. Some may question why she wouldn't just cave to the superintendent's pressure and sign it as the easy way out of this very difficult situation. She knows this forces her to go toe-to-toe with the most powerful woman in the school district, Marion Phelps. Just personally, but hey. I take immense pride in stating that so-and-so refusal to sign the OMC stems from its inaccuracies and untruths. It would essentially amount to a coerced confession. 100% perfect point. Here's my point. Who gives a gosh darn what this attorney takes immense pride in? It's my only point. Because we're advocates, we're not the person. So that people shouldn't care what we think unless we sign our names to a legal document. That's my opinion. Okay. We firmly believe that if she was to seek your counsel on whether to sign such a false declaration, each of you would commend her resilience and advise against it, standing by her side. Man. No doubt about it, we had that same opinion of the Milwaukee Public Board of School Directors some years ago. And it's fair to say we no longer hold those views. I think that is what we're comparing and contrasting here. All right, let's keep rolling. In light of the OMC presented by James Dayhoff, so-and-so on July 17th, deadline, thoughtfully crafted and signed a version that was both respectful and accurate. Oh, so she did sign it. She just signed it with edits. We looked at that guy's Ty, the principals. I guess that's a mark of being old, but I didn't realize Ty was an actual first name. But hey, it's America. But she doesn't mention that anywhere. She does sign it. She just signs it with edits because it's inaccurate, with corrections. So, no, he's got it. They got some problems. Ambiguously underscores her dedication to abstaining from any intentional acts of bullying, intimidation, and threats towards any student, including so-and-so. Oh, right. Because the main point that he says in there is that she doesn't, she won't commit to not violating the rules, even though nobody's found that she has violated a rule. That's called due process. You don't have to get punished for something that nobody's found that you've done. It's worth noting that so-and-so seems to have declined to sign the agreement or agreeing to refrain for such acts. PUSD's attorney, Mark Brise, now we're going to pause for that because he's getting Googled. All right. This is the only information I have, but he is a school attorney. No doubt about it. Gave so-and-so commitment no consideration whatsoever and dismissed it by saying that. Now, we have this consistent problem where I practice where the attorneys oftentimes seem to be running the board. And sometimes they're doing it in conjunction with the superintendent, and sometimes they're doing it on their own interest, but they do seem to be controlling the board. That neither so-and-so nor her parents possessed the prerogative or the right to demand amendments to that document, including those that involve other students. You can see how that Let's just state that sentence a different way. Neither so-and-so nor her parents possess First Amendment rights to demand amendments to that document, including those that involve other students. There is a paragraph that we went up there that sounded like they had a conversation with an attorney. I asked him to be named. There he is. And it didn't sound like it went so hot. And it sounded like afterwards they added an additional claim. Good for, I have been critiqued because it's in front of me, but Mr. Redden Good for you. Good for you. Sorry. On behalf of so-and-so, all right, let's see if there's any other shade in here. He unnecessarily took it a step further by denying so-and-so's pending appeal. Right, the attorney making the decisions. The board, in my opinion, I don't know what that rule is, but in my opinion, only the board can deny an appeal and ignore a request for the meeting Dave LeMaster previously requested. Well, if a LeMaster requested it, I mean, heck. Is it true and copy? Oh, maybe the uniform complaint has a bunch more in there. They got a straight up director of risk management. This is not a small school district. Risk management, San Diego, Board of Education, superintendent. Wow, it even has its own letterhead. I want the uniform complaint. But all right, back up we go. That was pretty informative. So sometimes it's good to read exhibits. Don't ever count on anybody reading your exhibits people who don't need content, for example. 97 on October 9th. Yeah, they rejected the notice of claim, and that was what we just looked at. On November 15th, the trustees held a special meeting regarding the claims against Superintendent Marion Phelps. They issued a public statement of no action, the report being taken against Superintendent Marion Phelps. It's strange how the action go on. That's strange there, but okay. Now, defendant Darshana Patel, who's a board member or trustee, this is the first action that I've seen that they have done individually. I see there's this board action by the board at the first sentence of 97. But this is the first time that I see defendant Darshana Patel as an individual. Went on to publicly state that they could not publicly discuss the matter, yet she then publicly discussed the matter, stating some of the members of the public are making misinformed claims about student and employee conduct involving Del Norte High School softball program. The Board of Trustees' public comments citing to making misinformed claims led to the perception that the trusting or act as advocates for Superintendent Marion Phelps, independent elected officials. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a separate law there, but I mean, so what? We are informed and believe that after November 15th special board meeting, Superintendent emailed a letter to PS2 employees claiming that she is the target of political or other motivations. She further claims that a small group of people made allegations that I threatened students and abused my power in falling. It's a small group. Come on. And I bet they were all 4'6". All right. I was shocked by the accusations. The comments made multiple statements that were false yet damaging as they were being spread online. As the superintendent of PUSD, I want to assure you that the allegations are untrue. Never at any time have I made threats towards any student, nor tried to prevent them from graduating. Never, because I had my assistants do it. Never at any time did I leverage my position as superintendent. Oh, but there's a direct allegation by MA saying that you did. So cool, but kind of sounds like you did. Or sounds like we got a dispute on our hands here. All right. Never at any time did I leverage my position as superintendent to interfere with the school's investigation, nor did I ask the school to initiate one. I just want to point out that the news article says that the board terminated her for cause, which again is fascinating because since they already knew about all this stuff. I mean, there's no doubt at this time at the early stage, they're getting the superintendent's version of events. There's no doubt about it. But they had enough there not to just take her word for it. That's for sure. And they just took her word for it. So, hey, it cracks me up too, how softball. Would this have happened if she had, caused such a fuss in the reading club? We'll find out. On November 15th, Superintendent Marion Phelps gave a public news interview which she stated, inter alia, that's among other things, this has nothing to do with clapping. I never threatened any student. I never talked to any student about making threats about them, nor graduating, and the accusations are completely false and fabricated. Well, now, we are at the 26-minute mark. Of course we are. So we'll stop here. And we'll do another round or so. I'll get some more coffee.